Hey there, folks. I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. Now, for this episode, not only are we looking at a Pokemon movie, but we're also looking at a sci-fi film, since I'm kind of in a sci-fi mood ever since Isaac the Media Hunter looked at an alien film recently. Anyway, you may be asking, how does the sci-fi genre fit into the Pokemon franchise? Well, one example, aside from Mewtwo being cloned from Mew, is that a Pokemon known as Clefairy was rumored to have come from space. However, during the Hoenn season, there was another alien Pokemon, and it is the subject of my blog today. So, airing on television on January 22nd, 2005, the movie is Pokemon Destiny Deoxys. So, let's get started. High-tech LaRousse City is a pretty impressive place to visit, and a pretty impressive place for a Pokemon battle too. Ash Ketchum heads straight for the renowned battle tower, but things don't turn out too well when his battle partner turns out to be a scared boy named Tory. Because of a frightening childhood incident, Tory is scared of all Pokemon and their trainers. There's a lot more to be frightened by when Deoxys shows up and takes control of the city, shutting down the machines and taking everybody captive. One Pokemon that is not amused is the legendary Pokemon Rayquaza, and it will do whatever it takes to remove this invader from its territory. Meanwhile, Ash, Tory, and all their friends may be caught in the middle, but they're certainly not out of the fight. So, what do I personally think of this movie? Well, I thought this was a very fun and a heartwarming film. And to further explain why I enjoy the film, let's move on to Mustang notes. Now, there's not too much trivia to talk about, other than the fact that this movie was released between the episodes Sky High Gym Battle and Lights Camera Up Action in Japan. This was also the first Pokemon movie to debut on TV before its video release, and it was the last to be distributed by Miramax in America. Also, the events of this movie are later made canon in Pokemon Ranger Deoxys Crisis Part 1, as the research done by Professor Lund is later used by Solana. As for the animation, to me, the Japanese animation is absolutely excellent, and I like the many different Pokemon that are featured in this movie. Plus, I think LaRousse City is a really cool and high-tech city, by the way. And I also recently heard that it's located near Lily Cove City. The city includes moving walkways, which kind of remind me of those confusing puzzles from the Kanto games, and an enormous presence of block bots who serve as security, and robots that serve food. Also, all LaRousse residents and visitors receive a special passport which acts like an ID, and it enables them to shop as well as other things. The city's main power source seems to be its wind turbines. The most famous attraction is the city's battle tower. And there's also a huge park, a shopping mall, and a greenhouse. Also, I heard that LaRousse City is revealed to be the hometown of May's rival Drew. Plus, I heard that during October 2003, Kuniko Yuyama and his team made a 4-day-long visit to Vancouver, British Columbia in Canada to form the basis of LaRousse City. Some of my favorite scenes in the film, other than the Pokemon battle at the Battle Tower, which didn't really go too well, are the parts involving friendship and teamwork, like when everybody works together to restore the city's power and to restore the green Deoxys. Plus, I thought the final climax, where the block bots go berserk, is pretty intense, but still very thrilling. Also, I thought the opening prologue, which took place at the North Pole, not only was intense and thought-provoking, but it kind of felt similar to the 1982 horror movie The Thing. However, the only flaw with this movie is that it can't seem to make up its mind who the main antagonist is. Another thing I like about this movie is the song This Side of Paradise, sung by Bree Sharp, where Ash, May, Max, Brock, their new friends Rafe, Sid, Audrey, and Catherine, and their Pokemon play with Tory. To me, this song has a very upbeat rhythm, and it also has an optimistic message. And now, let's move on to the characters and their voice actors. Our hero, Ash Ketchum, is voiced once again by Veronica Taylor, best known from Nana, 7 of 7. In my eyes, Ash is still a great Pokemon trainer, and he's also a good friend to hang out with. Plus, I like that Ash is willing to help Tory overcome his fear of Pokemon by becoming a new friend for him. Also, Ash's Pokemon consist of Torkoal, Swellow, Grovyle, and Corphish. Ash's best friend and partner, Pikachu, is vocalized by the legendary Iku Utani. In my eyes, Pikachu is still my favorite Pokemon in the anime, and I really love Pikachu's friendly and loyal personality. And I like the part where Pikachu tries to get Tory to touch its paw and its head. Ash's traveling companions include Brock, voiced by Eric Stewart, May, also voiced by Veronica Taylor, and her little brother Max, voiced by Amy Birnbaum. Brock is aiming to become a Pokemon breeder, and I think he's a good friend to Ash, even though his habit of flirting with girls gets on my nerves. And I like when he makes lunch for the gang, and the part where he remembers being Professor Ivy's assistant during the Orange Island season. Plus, Brock's Pokemon include Fortress, Lombre, and Mudkip. May wants to be a Pokemon coordinator, and in my opinion, while she's a great member in Ash's gang, there are times when she does serve as the voice of reason, and in one scene, she's camera shy. Her Pokemon include Combuskin, Beautyfly, Skitty, and Bulbasaur. As for Max, who has no Pokemon, to me, he's highly intelligent, and there are times when he serves as a comic relief, like the scenes where he pulls on Brock's ear. Plus, I like the scene where he says, "I wonder if it could somehow get into a crack in the wall!" Which always cracks me up. Next we come to Team Rocket's Jessie, James, and Meowth, voiced by Rachel Lillis, Eric Stewart, and the late Maddie Blaustein. Now, this is the second movie where these three shenanigans don't encounter Ash and the gang. While in LaRousse, they can't seem to get any food due to them not getting a passport, though they do try to steal some later on. Also, later on in the film, they do help a bit by connecting their submarine pedals to the wind turbines. Our main character, Tory Lund, is voiced by Tara Sands. previously voiced Bianca in Pokemon Heroes and Sammy in Pokemon Forever. To me, Tory is a very sympathetic and relatable kid, and his backstory on how he became traumatized after a Walrein stampede was pretty frightening, despite the fact that the Walrein went around him. Also, I think Tory has an inquisitive mind, just like his dad. Though it is sad that he tends to keep to himself, and he's incredibly shy prior to meeting Ash and the gang. Their influence tested Tory's comfort zone. Previously, he would run away from a difficult situation, but Tory went on to overcome his fear of Pokemon after meeting a Plusle and a Minun. Also, I like that Tory was able to make friends with a green light, which later turns out to be the green Deoxys. Tory's dad, Professor Lund, is voiced by Sean Schemmel, best known as Goku from Dragon Ball Z, as well as Lucario from Lucario and the Mystery of Mew, and Kodai from Zoroark, Master of Illusions. Lund is a renowned scientist in LaRue City, and he has a good relationship with his son Tory, but is often too busy working to spend time with him. Eventually, Lund was pleased to see Tory's newfound friendships with Ash and the others, as well as his new companions like Plusle and Minun. To me, Lund is typically calm, and he's also very professional. But during the crisis in LaRue, he maintained his composure, though he was concerned for the safety of his son and for Yuko, to the point where he briefly broke down. To me, his most memorable moments is when he orders Officer Jenny to evacuate the city, and when he gives Tory directions to stop the block bots from flooding the city. Next is Yuko, also voiced by Rachel Lillis. Yuko serves as Professor Lund's assistant and close friend. She also fulfills a maternal role in Tory's life, making herself available whenever he needs to discuss something, kind of like a mother figure. Yuko was deeply concerned for Tory, and unlike Lund, she openly fears he was isolating himself because of his fear of Pokemon, and was thus limiting his potential. Upon meeting Ash and the gang, she was quick to inform them of Tory's phobia, and she became thrilled when they said that they would help Tory overcome it. Plus, I like when Yuko helps the gang while Deoxys has the city covered in a psychic force field. Next we come to Rafe, voiced by Sebastian Arcelis, who got to be in the Legend of Thunder special, the House of Cards Netflix series, and he got to be in several Broadway shows like Rent, Wicked, Jersey Boys, and Elf. Now, Rafe is a calm and collected young man from South City who thinks before he acts. He's extremely protective of his sisters, and he also cares deeply for his Pokemon and his friends. He can become quite cocky and condescending after a victory, as seen when he defeated Ash and Tory. However, I think Rafe is a great new friend, and I think his Blaziken is really badass. Next up is Sid, voiced by Matthew Charles. Sid is another trainer from South City. In my eyes, Sid comes off as a jolly guy who is willing to act in times of need. He also gains a huge crush on May, and he tries his best to win her over. Unfortunately for him, May does not reciprocate his feelings and treats him more as a friend. Also, Sid's Pokemon partner is Blastoise. Our next character is Rebecca, voiced by Lisa Ortiz. Rebecca is an incredibly intelligent and curious young girl. Whenever anything captures her interest, she will point her laptop towards it and study it. She's also very inquisitive, and when she cannot find an answer on her laptop, she becomes frustrated. Rebecca's Pokemon partner is Metagross, which to me is one of the coolest Steel/Psychic type Pokemon ever. Next are Rafe's sisters, Catherine and Audrey, both voiced by Rebecca Handler. These two are a bubbly duo of girls who are often seen giggling to each other. They work perfectly together as a team, and on occasion, they speak in unison. The twins have a close bond with their Pokemon, and they speak highly of their older brother Rafe's skills as a trainer, as well as his Blaziken's battling skills. Their Pokemon consist of Surskit and Masquerain. Next we come to Plusle and Minun. Ever since the Ruby and Sapphire games, I found these Pikachu cousins as some of the most memorable Pokemon in the Hoenn region, and I really loved their role in this movie, due to them being playful supporting characters and new friends for Tory, after he helped Minun get unstuck from a trash can. Plus, I like when they use their electrical attacks in order to give power to several machines. Next is Munchlax. In this film, this hungry Pokemon from Generation 4 serves as a comic relief sometimes, but at least it's polite by kicking garbage into the trash cans. Plus, I think Munchlax's most memorable moment is when it evolves into a Snorlax during the Block Robot Flood. Next is the title Pokemon, Deoxys. Now, according to Yuko, Professor Lund is the one who gave Deoxys its name. Now, when the film was first advertised in 2005, some folks believed that this alien Pokemon was the villain, but thankfully it wasn't, because to me, this purple Deoxys is shown to be very protective towards the green crystal, which contained the green Deoxys, and while it's in LaRue City, it's searching desperately for its friend while sending a purple aurora into the sky and scanning with its psychic vision, which sometimes causes some of the city's machines to malfunction. Also to note, the green Deoxys is very interactive towards anybody, especially with Tory, while it's in its green light form. Also, I think Deoxys has some pretty cool moves and forms. For example, it can go into normal, attack, and defense mode, and it has abilities like Nightshade, along with Recover, in order to regenerate, Protect while it's in defense mode, and Psychic while it's flying with Tory and Ash, which kind of brings back Pokemon Forever flashbacks. Also, later on in the movie, we learn that Deoxys' vision can get blocked by electrical objects, and I think Deoxys' multiply attack can be a bit aggressive. Finally, we come to Rayquaza, the Pokemon that lives in the ozone layer. Now, we all know Rayquaza as the mascot of the Emerald version game, who also stops a fight between Groudon and Kyogre. In the games, it can be found at the top of the Sky Pillar. However, in the movie, Rayquaza is highly territorial, and it will relentlessly pursue those it feels has violated its space. So, after a meteorite containing Deoxys nearly hit Rayquaza, it became very angry, and it attacked Deoxys due to it thinking that it was trying to invade its territory. And even after beating it at the North Pole, Rayquaza had a grudge against the alien Pokemon. However, when it was saved by the two Deoxys during the Block Robot Flood, it let go of its grudge against them and left them in peace. And now for my final words. Overall, Pokemon Destiny Deoxys is a pretty good movie. Not as good as Spell of the Unknown or I Choose You, but still pretty good. The Japanese animation is excellent, and the setting in LaRue City is great. The main heroes are still memorable, their new friends are fun, Tory was very sympathetic and relatable, Plusle and Minun are very memorable Pokemon, Munchlax was pretty funny, the two Deoxys made this movie worth watching, and Rayquaza was a bit of a jerk for attacking them out of rage. Plus, I love the movie's plot involving friendship and teamwork. So, I think this is another Pokemon movie you should share with your family. As for my rating, I'll give it an 85% out of 100. Well, that's all for now. Be sure to... Hear that? That noise could only mean that next, we're gonna have a triple feature. And according to my schedule, it'll be a magical movie night with the Equestria Girls. Mustang Power!
There's a place I know, it's always jumping. I'm thinking we should go and leave our worry. You got a friend in me, and I'll tell you something. This time could be extra.